Oh, there's so much history, and tradition in NASCAR in general, and then here, specifically at Darlington. When you look at the greats that have won here and run here, and NASCAR really reaching back, doing the alumni thing and the throwback weekend, it makes it really exciting for me because I grew up watching so many heroes go around here.
It's important to remember the past, right? In a sport like this, especially in NASCAR.
It absolutely is. That's the foundation. It's the DNA of where we're going in our future, and we can never forget that the people that built this sport and continue what they were trying to do around here. And when you look, as I said, at the history here, you look at NASCAR and the race car industry in general, how much of it is right around the track that's too tough to tame. It's pretty amazing.
You're giving the command. You've been practicing your line?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't know. They told me I have to be a little bit, I can't be jumping around crazy, but we're trying to figure out exactly what I should say.
All right, thanks. Appreciate it. Anything else, boys?
Ray, do you think you would choose to become a crew chief today, given the constraints on the car and what crew chiefs are allowed to do?
I think it's a much different job than I did back then. I don't know if I have the skills to be a crew chief today. It's a lot more, I think, data management, where back then it was, people, driver communication and whatnot. So I'm sure if I had to, I could, the evolution process would maybe be a little bit different for me. But, I've always loved the sport, love working with people. It's just that I have to get used to using the new tools.
How would Prime 24 team have handled the next gen car?
Oh, wow. Prime 24 team handling next gen car with the rules. If we had to follow all the rules that they had, we couldn't handle it, much. But I think, anytime you get a new opportunity to do something, somebody's going to get to the edge of that envelope fast, and something that we always had at Hendrick Motorsports with a strong engineering department and a lot of smart people. So whatever it is, I think we could have got there pretty quickly. But looking at the tire and the fact that the car is completely different and we didn't get a chance to build it, I don't know. I'm not sure I would have liked it.
Talking about the different tools, which tools do you think are better, the ones currently or the ones you guys had to work with back in the day?
Well, again, the tools we had in the day were very limited, so it was a lot more about the people, the driver feedback, the crew chief decisions, how you built the car. Now the sport's very data driven, so you pretty much have to do what the computer tells you to do. The driver almost has to do what the computer tells them how to drive that car to make the speed. And again, that's just evolution. Whenever you have a mechanical thing, the sports, it's going to evolve. But, I like the human element, with driver giving the feedback to the crew chief, them guys deciding on what to change. To me, sport's still about people, so hopefully we can keep it about people and less about the computer. It is really exciting. We've got a lot of work to do, working on some old cars. It's going to be a vintage event. We've located a lot of IROC cars, a lot of the original IROC drivers, mechanics, so it's going to be a reunion of sorts and really just an exhibition. We're not planning on having a full-out, blown-out race, but we're going to put about 20 vintage IROC cars on track and have them driven by many of the original drivers.
How interesting is it to see how many of those IROC cars are still floating around?
It's, I'm telling you, we keep finding. So far, I've located about 43 of those cars. Some of them are in the UK and other countries, but IROC still has a pretty big following, and we've had a lot of really good reports and feedback on the brand. So again, it's part of motorsports history. So the historical part, I'm really excited about it.
How would the selection for drivers and the structure of it work versus what you're doing with SRX?
I don't know. What we're doing with IROC and what we did with SRX are two completely different things. Right now, again, this is really about IROC reunion, exhibition, getting together. So we're hoping to have, there are still there's a few of the original drivers, guys that raced the Porsches in IROC that are still out there, on up to guys like Tony Stewart that drove in the last series. So it'd be great to be able to get all of those guys together somehow.
A lot of guys in the NASCAR Alumni Association were in IROC at one point. Is this kind of like a recruiting tool for you now?
Oh, I don't know if it's a recruiting tool. I'm just so proud and honored, to be here today as the Grand Marshal, but to see what NASCAR is doing with this alumni thing, it means a lot to a lot of people. And when you look inside a tent like that and realize who's in there and what they represent, it's pretty special. So I'm excited and really honored to be part of it.
It does seem like a
This is Parker Chase. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and check out some of our other videos over here on the right. And be sure to visit frontstretch.com for more racing content.